What is going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and I just completed my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater here live on the channel. The playthrough clocked in at just over 11 hours of gameplay, although I do actually believe that the playthrough may have been a little bit longer than that because I was pausing to interact with my audience and all. But all in all, people want to know, what are my overall thoughts about the game? What are the improvements from the original? And do I think it was worth the price that they charged? Because if you're not aware, Konami is charging a full retail price for this game. So let's talk turkey about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. So first off, is it a new game? Straight up, I'm going to answer that for you, honestly. No, it is not a new video game. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is the same exact game as Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. The plot's exactly the same, the voice acting, the actual main gameplay, the maps, it's all identical. Okay? Even the item placements, the Easter eggs, they're all there. It's as if you're playing Metal Gear Solid 3 again. So then, how on earth could they be selling this in the modern day for a full retail price as if it's a brand new game? Well, to answer that question, we have to analyze what's new. And there are two key things that are new about Delta Snake Eater. Number one is the graphics, and number two are the controls. So let's talk about both. The graphics of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater basically are very modernized. All of the character models have been fully upscaled, modernized, and look great as if this was a modern video game. The environments have dramatically been improved visually. I can tell you this, the final boss arena is gorgeous with all those white lilies and everything. It looks photorealistic. Absolutely amazing, incredibly cinematic. And other parts of the game as well, when you're underwater and things like that. All these things have been dramatically improved. So the game absolutely looks like a modern game, but I should say this, on PC, which is the version I played, the game was not optimized until I turned on the features like the DLSS, frame generation and stuff. The game actually had significant frame drops whenever you were moving around in the maps. I don't know what happened here, if it was a problem with them utilizing Unreal Engine 5, but the game actually was really choppy at first. I had to enable all of the features of my NVIDIA graphics card to basically make the game run reasonable. And once I did, it looked good. It actually ran at a smooth 60 frames per second at 4K resolution, and I was pleased with that. The lighting, everything that you want to see is all dramatically improved. The game, again, definitely looks like a modern game, okay? So, that being said, is it worth it to buy this game again for modernized graphics? Well, maybe you don't have access to the previous versions of the game. Currently, you can play it on PS2, PS3 in the HD collection, and I believe also you could have played it on PS4 on the HD collection, because I think it does work on there. This obviously allows you now to play it in a modern format on PC, on an Xbox, on a modern PlayStation. So there you go. But ultimately, the other major change that is in this game are the control changes. And there are two incredibly different control changes that make this game feel different from the original. I can tell you, having this have been my third playthrough of this game here on DSPGaming, this was by far the smoothest, the most streamlined, the easiest time that I ever played this game, okay? The two control changes are as follows. Number one, third-person, over-the-shoulder camera. So when you're aiming and you're firing your weapons, it's as if you're playing a third-person shooter. This makes the game dramatically easier. Way easier. Now, the whole aim down the sights, which used to be tap a bumper to look in first person, is still present in the game. But for the most part, unless you're using a sniper rifle, you don't really need to ever use that, because the third-person gun is so good, you can easily draw, quickly aim, fire, and hit anyone from mid to long range. It's actually that accurate. So parts of the game where you used to have to be super stealthy, sneak up, aim slowly, get the headshot and fire, now you just go, patunk, got him, patunk, got him, patunk, got him, done. And so stealth is way easier in this game. In addition to that, there's the other huge addition. CQC, or Close Quarters Combat, has been incredibly simplified. All you have to do is walk up to any enemy in the game, hold in their direction, and hold down the right trigger. You instantly grab them and slam them and knock them out. You never have to actually go into that hold up mode. You don't have to choke them out and put them to sleep. It's just sack of potato slam. Boom. Done. They're out. And this, again, makes it insanely easy to sneak around the maps, walk up, slam, go back to cover, walk up, slam. And it's just almost never challenging. I mean it. Like, there were times when the alert went off. Screw it. Run up, slam, 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 clear the whole building. What the heck? Why is it so easy? In the original, it was never that easy. You die. In this one, it's just like you are like the Terminator. You're just ass whooping everyone and no one can stop you. So I want to make this abundantly clear. Yes, the game plays like a more modern game, but my God, the game is so much easier than the original. I'm not saying that the original Metal Gear Solid 3 was actually like hard to play, but this one is like piss easy. So easy. There were boss fights, for example, the Fear. If you remember in the original game, the Fear is almost like the Predator, and he's jumping all over the trees with the camo that's translucent. It's very hard to keep track of him and see him, and you really have to pick your spots where you can aim and fire. In this one, you just go, oh, there he is, patunk, 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 walk around, patunk, done, boss fight's done. What just happened? You think it's a joke or something? Is there a new phase 2 they've added? No, you beat him. Holy crap. In fact, out of all the boss fights in this, okay, they're all dramatically improved. The end, way easier, because now with the modernized graphics, the end actually stands out. It's easy to see that little lens flare that he gets when he looks through his scope, and he doesn't really blend in well with the environment. He kind of stands out with his big bald head, so you can kind of see him and pick him out really easily. All right, the only thing I would say is remember he has a pet parrot that you can put to sleep or whatever. I never got to see the parrot. I think the parrot might actually blend in more, but you don't really need the parrot anymore because you can easily see the guy. So you can just sneak right behind him. It's pretty simple. The only boss fight that even gave me a problem in Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater was the Fury. If you remember, that's the boss fight with the guy who has the jetpack and the flamethrower. And the only reason that this gave me problems is because they actually, for this fight, didn't fully modernize the controls. If you get hit by his flamethrower, you somehow end up face down on the ground. And then it's difficult to get up because the control to get off your belly is you have to tap the circle button. Well, I guess it's not a circle if you're playing on an Xbox controller like I was, but you have to tap the B button once to get to crouching position. Then you have to tap it again to stand, and then to start running, it's actually slow. So you kind of get stuck, and sometimes you can annoyingly get stun lock by the flame, and then you have to do the boss fight over. But outside of that one fight, I'm not even kidding you, it's just piss easy the entire game. Even the Volgin boss fight at the end of the game, where you have to do CQC against him and everything, oh, it's so much easier than the original, and it just feels like an easy mode game now. So if you're okay with that, by all means, use the modernized controls. That's one of the major things that are in the game. But let's say you're saying, well, I don't want to do that then if it's too easy. Well, then why are you going to buy the game again? I'm telling you right now, it's literally the same game as Metal Gear Solid 3, same Easter eggs, the legendary creatures you can catch, like the legendary snake in the Fear Arena. You can catch that. You can take out the end early if you have the sniper rifle and he's still in his wheelchair. All those Easter eggs are still in it, and it's cool to be able to play it on a modern format. But do you think that it's worth full retail price for an upscaled graphics and a tweak to the controls that make the game too easy? Personally, I don't. Like, I thought that it was a fun romp down memory lane. And this time around, because it was the third time that I played, I did try to challenge myself. I made it so that I didn't want to kill anyone. And I accidentally screwed up during one of the final boss fights. I didn't realize you could do it non-violently. So I ended up with 1 kill the entire game and a Jaguar rating. But outside of the whole, the gimmick of playing this again and it looks pretty, do you really want to pay full retail price? I don't think it's worth it. To be frank with you guys, I think that this is Konami in their very first attempt to milk the work of Hideo Kojima. They know that they own it. They haven't touched it for a very long time because they wanted enough time to pass that Kojima is making his own games with his own studio, which he's now doing. And now that that's done and established and he's doing well, now it's time for us to start milking this stuff again. And it's funny because, man, there was a major uproar about this when it was coming out. Did you hear that Kojima's not involved and Kojima's upset and he doesn't even want to talk about it because he's mad that he's not involved in these remakes or whatever? Yeah, but guess what? Did anyone who's a fan of Kojima say, oh, I'm going to abstain and not buy this game? Oh, no, it sold well. It's actually rated like one of the best games, if not the best game of August 2025, and apparently it sold like gangbusters. So, I mean, I guess people just didn't care. We're going to play it anyway. Maybe in this case, they actually like the work better than the maker. I don't know. But I think I see this as the gateway. This was the test, okay, by which Konami can see, will people pay full retail price for this? And if they will, now we can do this with Metal Gear Solid 2, with Metal Gear Solid 1, which, by the way, of all of the originals, 1 does need a remake because you can't play the PS1 version pretty much anywhere anymore. And the GameCube version is insanely rare. How else are you going to play it? So I do feel like a remake of the first game is warranted. But as for these 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no reason to be rebuying these at full retail price. At best, I feel this game should have been priced at $39.99. But they're charging full retail, and that is absolutely a horrendous ripoff. And I don't think they deserve it, especially because, as we know, it was Kojima who made this game, not Konami. And they don't really, don't deserve full retail price for it again. So overall, I enjoyed playing it again. I like the campiness of it. I did like the fact that, man, the modernized versions actually, the modernized controls made it so easy, and the graphics made it feel like a new game, but it's still the same. Identical game, definitely not worth a full retail price. So buy at your own risk, play at your own risk. Maybe you want to wait and it'll go on sale in a few months, but overall, same exact game. It is fun, but definitely not worth full price. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.